So we must remain in
Citizen Jones.
So that grace
Citizen Jones.
So because of that did it.
Wait,
people must do it.
Fred. The framers of the Constitution, recognizing that the circumstances under which the president will declare a state of emergency, and now the state of emergency will manage, gave a caveat to the president. The essence of a state of emergency is to address a problem.
To normalize.
Yes.
A situation.
In Rivers State, the problem was the intractable crisis between the legislature and the executive.
Intractable.
Yes, you can, because
no problem.
When a house is constituted of 32 members and the governor continues to say, is it not illogical as a lawyer for a governor to tell you that he is the one that will determine who becomes a member of another arm of government, that he does not have the powers under the law? And you are not scandalized by that.
From this,
all right,
from the topic.
Gentlemen, hold on. Yes. The index finger of the producer is asking me wind up. Beginning with you, Fred. You have the next 60 seconds to address the question.
There was no basis.
Hold on.
Don't preempt me. Have you read it in the
The 300 million naira largesse by former governor Sim Fubara to the Nigerian Bar Association.
Yes.
Do you think asking for a refund is right or wrong? 60 seconds. Beginning now.
There's no basis for such a request. No basis, because the grant or gift or whatever you call it was not applied with any conditionality. It is the sole administrator trying to get back at NBA, because NBA does not support his appointment. That is why he now sees an opportunity and he feels he can use that to met the NBA and then ask for that refund of what he did not give, what he did not institute, and what he was not asked to go and probe the government of Sim Fubra. If he's probing the government of Sim Fubra, all his actions, fine. Let him tell Nigerians that is inside his mandate or his job description.
All right. So for you, it's a no-no.
It's a no-no. There was no need for such a request.
Nelson, beginning from now, should the 300 million naira gift, unconditional gift to the NBA, be refunded?
Absolutely, it should be. If the NBA is an organization of persons with conscience, because the money that Administrator Ebas is asking for is not his own personal money. It's the money of the people of Rivers State that he wants returned into the coffers of the people of Rivers State. So if the NBA is an organization that has men of conscience, it is imperative on them to know that this has become a big scandal. That you have collected money from Rivers State because you are hosting, the state is going to host a conference, and if you are moving it based on principle to another state, that principle should also make you to say, just like Caesar said, just like Pontius Pilate said when Jesus was brought to him, they should wash their hands off River State money. Thank you.
Okay. Folks, we must apply the brakes here, but not before thanking Fred Nzako for coming. I dare say you have raised my blood pressure a few degrees. Do I love it?
Absolutely.
Well, the journalist's big function, one of the major functions, is to provoke debates. We have done it here. Thank you, Fred, for coming.
Thank you.
And so also, Nelson Ekujimi, many thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Dear viewer, the debate continues. So we attempted to take a second long, hard look at the 300 million naira largesse to the Nigerian Bar Association. It's a cross between a gift and a morality question. The debate, let it continue from your part of town. Until we meet again, this is Citizen Jones Hussein saying bye-bye now. Thank you.
Does not mean that it may happen today. Or even if it happened yesterday, was it right? And in any case, there was never a time when I was a governor, where governors came out to say, look, we have done this, we have done this, we have done that, everyone should be acting secretary of the party. Never has it happened. Rather, we will influence what will happen in the National Working Committee. And that is why We are pressure group. Now, you don't have the authority to say that somebody should be acting as national secretary. When there's a national secretary who has not resigned, you cannot do that. You don't have power to say, we have formed the committee of zoning. It is not within your prerogative to form zoning committee. And these are things that people across will challenge any day, any time. And when that happens, people now say, oh, why is it making problem? Now, the issue is, who is the one setting laying the foundation for crisis in the party? And I told people, look, the best way to go about this is you go on that, put your influence, get the results, and then you move on. But to come back openly to say, look, we, the Governors Forum, we have met with the organs of the party. We have met with the National Working Committee. Who are you to say that a national secretary of the party that was elected, he was not appointed. Yes, it was zoned to a particular area. And he was elected by the delegates at the National Convention. And so if the area that would be the national secretary of the party, it is to the National Convention. Assuming though not conceding that it is zoned to South-East, South-East can still not bring somebody. They can only say, okay, when we go for National Convention, this is the person we are going to back. It's not by appointment, it's by election. And when you challenge all these people, say, oh, you are making problem. And I told him, this way we are getting it wrong. And it will not work, whether anybody likes it or not. And this is the thing that you do. Another election is coming up. Who will be the one that will sign to INEC? INEC only recognizes the national chairman and the national secretary for correspondence. And tomorrow you now say, oh, it is in trouble. Where people don't want peace. No. Now, that is on their own part. On the other part of those who are looking for the selfish interest, the likes of Atiku and all other people, which coalition with who? Why not come into the Paya party? Everybody wants to be president of the country. Nobody wants to say, look, let me lead our party. So that at the end of the day, our party will be in a formidable position as an opposition party to take over power. We don't do that. Only what you want is, let me find a way how I will be the one. If that does not happen, they attempt to all Israel. And you made the mistake yesterday, you want to repeat the mistake today, tomorrow you make a mistake. And then you come out to say, we are rigged out. Who rigged you out? You have already rigged yourself about causing crisis. And this is what I've always said. Like, because people are not sincere to themselves. And people like me will not accept that. So the issue of coalition or these other people, they are not sincere. The issue of want to be alone, they are also not sincere. Because you have not shown that you want to be alone. You have not shown the seriousness that you want cohesion in the party.
Honorable Minister, let me ask you, let me take you back. APC, PDP, since 1999, we've known that a very strong component of this party, beyond being the interest group, is the Governors Forum. They have the war chests, they are very formidable, and you cannot say, after serving your own term now, that this interest group, strong interest group, cannot
have told you
this same policy.
And you see, this is you are part of the problem we're having. You don't say the right message. I didn't say Governors Forum are not strong. But by the constitution of the party, they are not organs of they are not any organ of the party. That you're a pressure group. who can exert your influence. There's nothing hidden about that. But you don't want to take over the responsibility of the National Working Committee. Take for example, how dare you come out on national television to say we the governors, set up zoning committee headed by one Doyediri. We have put convention to be held in Kano. We have told the Deputy National Secretary to be acting as National Secretary. Believe me, that is the crisis. And you know you cannot do that.
Believe me that the governors were just trying to fill a void. Just like when you were governor several times, you have never seen several times you try to fill the void. I know that when Ali Sharif was
I was never chairman of governors forum. You have never seen us say we have appointed this person. We have said it will happen. Nobody does that.
The governors forum of which were a part at that time.
Yes, I have never
was instrumental in bringing Ali Sharif.
Listen to what you have said. That very instrumental, having influence. But this is the result. Does not mean that you come and take over. That you have decided that's the point of to tell you.
You remove second
Listen to what you have said. I use influence to see that my candidate wins. But I cannot come up on national television to say I have directed the Deputy National Secretary to take over as National Secretary. I have said this. I have said the convention will be this. That's the point I'm trying to say. You don't do that. We are not saying you cannot exert influence. You have to be patient. In any case, too, even if you want to exert influence, you must know that yesterday is not today. Today will not be tomorrow. The fact that certain things worked yesterday does not mean so far to me that it will work today.
Yeah, would you accept, Your Excellency, that you already set that sort of precedent for them? Because you already admitted that the fact that it happened yesterday does not mean that it should now happen today or it should continue like that. Yep. So don't you think that it's a bit hypocritical to say,
no. Okay,
we did it in my time, but you cannot do this?
For example, there are things that happened yesterday. Nobody may want to question. But I think that will happen today. Somebody said no. We will question it. The mere fact that nobody questioned it yesterday does not mean it was right. And I wouldn't say this, that you have to be careful. Circumstances change. Yesterday is yesterday. Today is today. You may not be lucky. And that's why you see, when you say, after all, when you were there yesterday, you did this. I agree. That was yesterday. Today, circumstances they have changed. But you cannot say, we did it like yesterday. We continue to do it like that. No, that's the point of that to make. You have to be very, very careful. You need unity. Right. So when there's no unity, you cannot achieve it. That's the point of that to make.
Sir, you have mentioned the issue of unity. And your colleagues, former colleagues, the governors made this proclamation. You have faulted it. Now, where do you stand in terms of your own activities within the party? How are you trying to build it now that this, fight has started?
Listen, what he said. He said when Governor Wike was governor, he brought out his chest. He fought for the party. He made the party not to die. Mention one governor today. In PDP, mention one. That said, I have come out. I will leave this war as the head of opposition.
Your friend Bala Mohammed is...
Please, you are talking about serious issues. Now, mention one. Remember, under 2019, or before 2019, APC tried to muzzle the PDP. And some of us said, no, you cannot. They penetrated the party, tried to use a Bori Sheriff. We said, no, we will not accept it. By funding, by everything. Today, how many governors will say, I'm the one funding this party. and who are paying their salaries. It's not by just mere talking. Today, in 2019, I said I was not going to be leader. I'm going to be in opposition. I'm going to stand for opposition. Today, how many governors you see that don't go to the village in the night?
In the night?
In the night. You see, it is not. You see, you don't give what you don't have.
Excellency, they say they go to the villa by night with your support, and that's why people like Governor Moeno of Akwa Ibom State has endorsed President Tinubu for a second term, and the local government chairman in the PDP in Abuja here, Abuja Municipal Area Council, has defected to the APC. That all of these are factors being put by you to weaken the PDP.
No, what does it show?
Move and dissolve to APC.
It shows no leadership, no strong leadership. Leadership is not by talking. Leadership is by action. When I was governor, you have to make sacrifices. I made sacrifices, and I can tell you authoritatively, it is not an easy thing. For you to say, I want to lead the opposition party, to go to Edarodo, it's not by mouth. You have to do a lot of things. It's not just coming out on national television. We, PDP, who are we PDP? Who is that person that's committed to lead this war? Now, all you see, everybody is putting himself just to be a presidential candidate, not just to win the election. You have said a law. Governor of Akwa Ibom, that's what you say, you said so. That we have endorsed the president. A key state, endorsed president, not only alone. You saw the governor of Delta State. He said, I am supporting Mr. President for good governance, not for politics. A key state to a wise opposition.
So
now, no, let me land, and then you run. I will tell you. You saw somebody declared for APC yesterday, the Chamber of Ahmad. Why not? During the last area council, I was assigned AMAC as governor of River State. I funded it. I led how we won AMAC. The AMAC was given to River State. You, River State, we want to win AMAC. You should fund it. They gave other states, other area councils. Some could not deliver. Right? That is commitment. Now, the governor came, the chairman came to me, and he said, I want to run. I said, you are running where? He said, under PDP. I said, which PDP? Who will sign to INEC that you are the candidate? Who will sign? You have a problem. I mean, what I've been preaching. Can't you make sacrifice? Allow the national secretary to complete his term. So you don't run into this kind of crisis. With the way it is now, you cannot. Therefore, if you really want to make politics, you want to help yourself, you don't follow an alternative. I don't know where you will go to, but I know that the crisis that who will submit your name, that litigation will be there. And you should be careful. As a young man I helped, it is between me to advise him, and it is between his choice to say, oh, I've thought about this. Truly, this will be a problem for me. And then what I'm telling the government, avoid this. Avoid this.
So clearly you're going to give them problems, aren't you?
I'm not giving problems. You are creating problems. And I said, don't create problems.
No, you said it happened previously. Nobody raised an issue with it. Meaning that you will raise an issue with this one.
No, somebody like me to come and trample upon my right. No, you don't do that.
Your Excellency.
I'm a minister of FCT.
Your Excellency.
I'm not just any minister.
Your Excellency.
I'm a minister of FCT. And you must understand that. There's nothing any governor can do I cannot as a minister of FCT. Nothing. Nothing.
You have painted a very
As a 37th governor.
of the
I'm not
situation.
a but I have that capacity.
Your Excellency, you have painted a very bleak picture of the situation in the PDP. Do we say that as of today, the PDP is not ready for the 2027 general election?
They are not ready. It's very obvious. You see, I have told you, I had an examination. I'm going to class to read. Indeed, am I reading? Am I studying? Yeah, you don't need to deceive anybody that you know you are not reading. You are only trying to ensure that you know that you have carried your back to class. So I'm seeing my colleagues in the going to prep. Let me go out. You reach there. You are doing nothing. Then you say, but I want to study now. You know yourself. So people cannot say for sure. I have said it's not a question of whether you like me. It's not about whether you like. You don't need, like I've said this. You don't need to like me. What I'm saying, is it correct? What I'm saying, is it what will help the party? All this struggle, power struggle, cannot help us.
A lot of people say since you lost that primary election and you were not nominated as a vice presidential candidate, you've been beaten. And everything you've done is to pull the people of the party down.
Hold on. You took a decision that suits you. I took a decision that suits me. You suffer for your decision. I'm enjoying the decision I took. So that's why I said, when you continue to have this, it's a problem. Am I the one now who is saying that you will not obey the Supreme Court judgment?
Yes, sir.
But I said, look, you that want to go to Solution, you see, when people take advantage, the National Secretary went to run for governorship. The party constitution did say you should resign. It's a lacuna. The man capitalized on that. Went and came back there, I'm still National Secretary. There's nowhere it says I should resign. Yes, you are talking about morality. Should you have gone without resigning? What's the business? It's power.
Well, I know you're not the AP, you are not an
Everybody
APC
takes
member.
advantage. I mean, why would you want to
Honorable Minister,
you correct that your constitutional lacuna?
yes. Will you deliver the PDP to the president, to President Tinubu in 2027?
Why?
I know you are not an APC
Why are you
member,
asking me?
but will you deliver?
Who is Tinubu other than me? Why are you asking me that kind of?
Because you as a member
Hold
of
on,
the
you know why you shouldn't ask me that question? In 2020, I stood firm that I was not going to support the PDP presidential candidate. See, about leadership, let me tell you. As of 2023, APC was down. The Buhari administration was not doing well. Nigerians were tired. Now, you had another problem. Issue of Muslim ticket, which would have compounded the issue. Difficult. I found that listen, a decision has to be taken. Which way do you go? What do you stand? I want power rotation. I could not have imagined that after 8 years of Buhari, that the same people will go back to. I said, no. It's not about
You lobbied.
it's about principle.
Did you lobby to be?
Lobby to who? Now, I never lobbied. You saw the result. I never lobbied. Ask anybody. Now, to take that decision was difficult. But the decision has to be taken. And I looked at it. Atiku was not an option. So it's a no-go area.
When did he stop being an option? Wasn't it after he dropped you as vice president? When he did not pick you as vice president?
No. Let me tell you, from day one, I told my people came. I said, one thing you must know, Atiku does not keep to his words. I can tell you authoritatively what happened in 2019. Atiku, Olusegun Saraki, and Secondus came to see me. That I was going to nominate Attorney General and the Minister of Petroleum. Saraki is alive. Now, when we lost the election, the man who is supposed to be the Attorney General did not know when the legal team was constituted. And I laughed. I watched the television. I ran across Saraki. People are considering legal team. And he said I was going to be the Attorney General. This is the ocean. Now, the point I'm making, people don't care. You see, when you see people, I know from day one that Atiku will never keep to his word. And I have never banked on that. I will not take his word to the bank. I will not do it. And so it was very clear. I made the right decision. And I stand by that decision. And you cannot see me now, having taken that decision in 2023, to now say, oh, I will support you for president. How? Tell me how.
Your Excellency, we know this and it's in the public space in the history of your party. But we want to look at what will happen in the immediate future. We know where you are, where you stand as far as the presidential elections are concerned. But will you be willing to support your party in every other position as far as 2027 is concerned?
Now, which position? Like, take for example,
senators, House of Reps, governors.
It depends. Take for example, let me tell you so you know me clearly. I don't play this way. If the PDP does not keep their house in order as far as is concerned, I'm not going to support them in the area council election. Yes.
Will you support the APC?
I don't know about the APC or any party. All I'm saying, if PDP goes where they are going, I will not.
And you're a serving minister in an APC-led federal government, and you will support the APC in the city elections?
That is not what I'm talking about. I said no, what I'm talking about. I will not support them. And anybody knows me, I don't play hide and seek. I called my friend, the governor of Adamawa. I said, look, the way people are going, with this your so-called power, I will wrestle with you people here in this FC2.
Yeah. So what
about prepare yourself?
Isn't that anti-party? Wouldn't you be disciplined by the PDP?
Who is one that is not anti-party now?
So what we saw yesterday was Wike's house.
No, you see,
the
people don't like
the campaign to the APC.
You don't like the truth.
I just asked her.
I have told you, look at what you are doing is wrong. And the young man came to me and said, who will write to INEC that you are the candidate? There's a problem there. And you don't seem to ignore this. And it will hurt you. Therefore, go and look for a way. I don't know where you will go to. But if you are depending on this crisis will consume this party. And I can tell you, it will.
So the man
to the right thing.
Man, he did your advice.
See, I can tell you, I have never gone to any governor, whether you're a PDP, whether you're APC, whether it's Labour Party, I have never said, look, I recommend this to you. I have never done it. That does not mean I do not play roles. I played a lot of roles for most of them. Like somebody like the governor of Bayelsa. I played role fundamentally. Yes. We cannot deny.
But it seems today, you and the governor of Bayelsa, there's no...
It's not the characters. This is what I tell people. See, let me tell you, it's so unfortunate. And this kind of leadership we have. Look, let me tell you. During the first tenure of Governor Dini, I did not support Governor Dini for primaries. I didn't know him. I supported to me because the National Party chairman, the Professor came to me. Now look, Tumi Alaibe is the one who would like to win this election. I supported him. And I apologies to anybody. And after the primaries, Asunopala brought Billy to my house, government house in Port Harcourt. And I said, look, the primaries are over. I'm going to give you a support. When I gave the support, remember, Billy was not the one who won. The Lion was one that was announced.
Lion.
So people may have forgotten. Baron Piggy, Senator Baron Piggy. So I remember I was doing his Thanksgiving in time, local government in Ogoni land. Apostle Zili Agri was the one who came to preach that day in church. Apostle Zili Agri stood up and said, "Billy, come. Mr. Governor, I'm handing over Billy to you." In the church. This governor of the Assembly I'm talking about there. During the second term, I was not to support him. The governor of Adamawa State, Fintri, came to me. The Minister of Petroleum, Karakin Republic, came to me. In fact, he brought Billy. It was Captain Hotel, where I was staying then. Billy, as a governor, not to that, I said, you can't do this, you're the governor. You cannot do this. Stand up. I will support you. I will support him. Today, I saw him talking in the prayer while whatever. No one individual, but you cannot pronounce the person. You don't have the courage.
Yeah. But in between, they had also released a video showing you soliciting his help for your presidential ambition as a candidate. No, please. Okay, so if you can for that video.
He's a delegate.
Yeah.
I need every delegate to support me.
So that was
to go and vote delegates. I'm not a voter in Bayelsa.
Okay.
I'm not a voter in Bayelsa. So he doesn't need me if I'm not important. But as a delegate, I needed to vote. I went. But I didn't need that.
But you haven't said that.
You haven't need that. But he wanted, look, let me tell you, there are some people that are not, look, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Let me tell you. Why, you see why I like the governor of Akwa Ibom? Why I like the governor of Delta?
Because you are coming to APC.
No. They didn't say I'm going to APC. The one they said, look, look, I have to support this man for a second term. It's not about going to APC. I didn't go to APC when I supported the president. I don't need to be there if I support the president. No. But they said, look, this man is putting his best. We are going to support him. Now, these other people, they go back. Then they come in front, they go in front. I remember when Supreme Court was to give judgment of Mr. President, I was in Supreme Court. Before we came back, some of you governor people were already in the villa. I mean, there are things you can't stand. That means you cannot stand. What kind of life is this? If you want to support Mr. President, for Christ's sake, support Mr. President.
And say it out.
Why would you be afraid? Do you know what it is that you're a governor? What are you afraid of? Whom are you afraid of? You play here. I have said this. Somebody told me last night, my friend and I was saying, I shouldn't talk about social person. I would have mentioned them now. He said, today I see people criticizing Tinubu. But they have not gone to say, look, I applied to Tinubu. I did a financial assistance. He approved. He gave me. And under Obasanjo, could you have done? Under Obasanjo, could you have done? You see, I never, as a sitting governor, applied to Buhari for any financial assistance. I never did that. I never did it.
Some may say you are because of the
you're from an oil
your state.
And it's not the wealth of governor. Why is the governor so hold on.
Down the state today, he doesn't look for money again because he's rich. Where is this man? What is that man? Samad.
Abdul Samad.
He doesn't look for money because I have 10 billion naira as a state. Therefore, I will not look for another 5 billion to add. It doesn't make sense. The point is that have credibility, be a man of character. Today you know what I can do, and you know what I cannot do. You know how my students say, no, we will not do that. And that's what they call is, like I said, it's not what I call popularity show. I am this. In that city, everybody knows, look, he won't tolerate this. I don't come and play this and play that. I won't do that. Yes.
Honorable Minister, let me quickly change gears now to River State.
Yeah, no, before the two I think we still have to have questions, like I have now. Let me take the Honorable Minister back to the issue of the position of the PDP Governors Forum. And to see whether the desperate measures that the PDP governors are trying to resort to are not justified under the circumstances. What desperation? It's not even a good word. Desperation means yes, it's a good word. That's why you should allow me to paint the picture. Yes. At least I have counted almost 7 or 8 of the PDP governors who are in their first term, and they will want to go for second term. Yes. And they have a party that is so directionless. Yes. You can't account for the whereabouts of the national chairman. Yes. The secretariat is in the hands of so many disputants, at least 2. Samaya who is claiming it's not disputant. No, don't use a framework as being used. Why would it be disputant? There's Uday, there's Uday, it's not. And then there's the deputy secretary that the governors are supporting now. Yes. So, in the light of all of this, no party, national working committee, party to back them and all of that. These measures, are they avoidable? That's what I was telling you. Sam's tenure will end in December. Why do you want to create crisis? That's why, again, if you look at what articles group are saying, they are accusing the PDP governor that I don't really know the ones killing this party. Coming from that angle, I didn't think it's a serious thought. But again, I sat back. I said, could they be doing what they are doing the name of this party at this critical point in time? Why could you not say, gentlemen, you're not going to this quagmire? Let's, what you call, I jump and pass. Enemies are setting trap for me. Let me jump and then pass.
Do you love the party?
You know their profession. So, what I'm trying to say is that if I don't love the party, I won't give this advice. I'm giving this advice for this. You are the one trying to kill this party. You cannot go and say, we have appointed the National Secretary to be the acting secretary. You see, you have a National Secretary whom you don't want. He was elected during the last convention. You cannot remove him. That's litigation. That's a crisis. And they claim, they claim that, look, I don't do friendship. I do what I will. I don't do friendship when it comes on the issue of what is right.
Ahead of the December PDP convention, there are talks that you are already grooming a national chairman, a weak national chairman that may deliver the PDP to the APC. Names withheld.
I don't know how.
Names withheld.
I don't know.
How do you react to such an accusation that you are grooming a national chairman, a weak national chairman that will hand over the PDP to the APC?
Even in our eyes, very good happen that's not wicked. Mention what happens anywhere that is not wicked. You just sit down one place.
But answer the question.
Answer the question.
Please, because you are saying.
Hold on.
Please.
Hold on. You now find you have opportunity to interview me. Does not make me you are supposed to do it.
No.
Answer the question.
Apologies on that.
Fine. Now, the point is that it is not correct. If I have any intention to do anything bad, like I said, I will not point out these things. I'm pointing out you to look at where you are heading to. It will not serve us right. Let us make sacrifice. Allow this man's failure to finish. And a man who does not love you or does not have an relation will not be doing this.
Yes, you talked about Akwa Ibom, you talk about Delta. It seems that the South is going to be delivered to the APC come 2027.
I don't know. My own interest is my state. Look, do you want South to vote for Tinubu? Yes.
Just one more.
What is hidden in that? Have I not campaigned for that before? Is it a new thing?
And you are getting converts. Uma Innocence is for Tinubu 2027.
Delta too also.
Governor Uma
and Delta too.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that I have said it 2023. And I'm saying it again. On to 2031.
And people
when the position should go to the north, there's nothing anybody will speak to me now, no grammar.
They say it's anti-party, Your Excellency.
It's not. It's to allow harmonious living together.
But let's look
live
at
and let her live.
Because if it was someone else.
No, you cannot tell me that it's your own prerogative to be political president, but it's not so. Not all of us live and let her live.
Let's just look at your
supporters over there.
No, you have no chance to win the election.
Okay.
I don't go to where you see, people like this kind of social media candidates. I don't do social media candidates. I see that as a politician.
You won this Abuja.
But he got 6 million votes.
I said, I see that as a politician. And I analyze the candidate who is likely to win. In politics, it's not always the right that, oh, this is the best candidate. No. You see, Nigerians today, their politics, so many factors come in. And I have always told people this. Whether it is correct or not, it's a different thing. Okay? Look at Tinubu one. Mind you, whether APC likes it or not, it was very, very turbulent for Tinubu to have scaled through that election. His own party administration, you could see, people don't want to speak the truth. Before that election, putting things that would have made him to fail the election go free. The fuel crisis, the Naira issue, it was terrible. No party in government would at that time bring such policy when you know you are running an election. But everything was done and we survived it.
Honorable Minister.
We survived it. So that's how you know that there are people, first of all, God is on their side. Two, they also know this game. He must give it to them.
Honorable Minister, you have made reference to the governors of Delta and Akwa Ibom saying that the president...
No, never I made reference. Yeah, son asked questions.
I understand.
So that you quote me well. Because when I said, thank you for what you have said. Even from that angle alone, does it not tell you that that's what I meant?
Okay, so they have said that they're going to be supporting the president for good governance. Do you really think the president is governing well? When you think about what is happening nationally.
What is happening?
So, for instance, only recently, and you made reference to the fact that there's nothing that governors are doing now that you also do not have powers as Minister of the FCT to do.
No, what I'm saying, the point I'm saying, please, so that you understand me well. What I'm saying, as a governor of a state, a lot of people think that you can direct, you can have influence in the voting pattern. That's the point I'm trying to make. But me too, as a minister of FCT, I also have such a from that point I'm trying to make. Because, take for example, once you say that council, I can go to Ahmad. Listen, why you should vote for this one? See what we did here. See what we did here. See what we did here. I can go to Gwababa. See why you should not vote for this one. Vote for this one. See what I did. You told me you wanted this. You told me you wanted this. Have I done it? Yes. I can go to Gwari. And this one would not likely to be the man. You told me you wanted left. You wanted right. You wanted front. You wanted back. Have I done it? Yes. I can go to Kwali. I came here. I asked you this question. What do you want? You say you want this, you want it. Have I done it? Yes. I can go to Abaji. I came to you. You told me you want this. You told me you want this. Have I done it? Yes. Why would they not believe me? This government is on performance.
Okay, so that is taken, I mean, your clarification is taken in terms of where you're talking about power as influence. Recently, the Governors Forum paid a visit to their counterpart in Plateau State over the killings that have happened in the state. Over 100 people have been murdered in the last 2 weeks. Benue State is also witnessing the same thing. And people have started asking questions as to where the president stands on these issues.
Okay, let me tell
and
you.
even where he is.
Let me tell you. Remember, when I became governor, people were saying rivers of blood. Remember, we were carrying channels, rivers of blood. This happened. This one, I owe it a duty as a governor of a state that security is paramount. I put in everything I have, whatever resources the state has, to provide security. This attitude of everybody, president. Yes, president is the commander-in-chief. However, you are in charge. As far as state is concerned.
So in clear terms, those governors have responsibility. In clear terms, those governors have a higher degree of responsibility.
That's what I'm saying. Take for example, one people say federal high road. Who are those using it? The people of your state. Now how do I sit? Because the federal high road, highway, the road is bad. Assuming the government at the federal level is not with me. Will you not tell, the man can go this road now is a federal. Who wants to listen to that? You have to find any way to fix that road, to make government easy for our people. I said I was a governor. I had no relationship with the federal government. I had no relationship with the federal government. I mean, when people are just talking,
Honorable Minister, I still remember clearly.
Abandon responsibility. And you say, mind you, this killing in Plateau, in Benue, is a recurring decimal.
But should it stop under an APC-led federal government? Because you promised security to Nigerians.
No, let me tell you. The president is doing everything he could do to support the security agencies, support the state, to reduce the level of insecurity. Remember, in Abuja, when we came, it was a terrible thing, right?
Yes.
It was a terrible thing. People were saying insecurity. I said, listen, I owe a duty. Mr. President has given me this delegation. He has delegated appointed me. He has confidence in me. I therefore owe the residents of Abuja That I should be able to provide some level of security where people can. I'm not saying I will totally eliminate insecurity. Nowhere in this world. Nowhere in this world. Just yesterday morning or today, they were shooting in Florida University. I don't know whether you saw them. People died. That is at the level where you can say, with the technology and this and that. But that does not mean that insecurity pervades in Florida. You can have one or two occasions. Yes, we agree.
So some of the successes you had with Governor Mutford, who's your party member, Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutford, share some of the successes you had in Abuja.
My father told me this. If you are sorry, you have headache. If you come to tell me you have headache, how would you know you have headache? If you want to see, what call peer review mechanism. These days, I don't understand what people do by you go to a forum. There must be peer review mechanism. Look, what's happening? How are you doing it? Right? How do you go about it? There's nothing wrong in learning. But here, it even causes, every day, why is it one showing that is doing infrastructure? That becomes a problem for you too. It becomes a problem. It's not someone to say, look, how are you doing this? You are IGR. I spoke to you today. How much are we getting from federal government? With all due respect, how much are we getting? The federal government does 800 billion a month. They give us 1%. 1% is 8 billion. 8 billion. So why would I get the money to do this infrastructure? So I have to fall back. I have to be aggressive. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. I said, listen, taxes. You, if you don't pay this, I revoke this.
Honorable Minister.
When they accuse you of land grabbing, I said to hell.
But we can.
I'm going to do this. I need the money to carry out.
Honorable Minister, just to follow up on that issue, because you talked about, how governors need to take responsibility. That's what I seem to glean from that. I do know that while you're governor, while you also say you're taking responsibility for security in your state, you admitted the limited nature of governors. You once complained about being the chief logistics officer.
Let me tell you now. Because politics was brought into security. What happened in my state? I had a minister that was the BBA minister with the federal government. They wanted to make my state ungovernable. I had 12 commissioners of police in 3 months. In 3 months. Now I have to sit back. What do I do to survive this? I don't know consume problem for president.
I instigated.
So you go down. I know you have a coalition. What's the thing of coalition? To make sure the president does not return. I don't want the president to sleep every day. Has anybody killed anybody? If so 45%, if they don't want to be now, he's also working by delivering the dividend of democracy to the best of his ability. He's not going to sleep. Mr. President has a good relation with the National Assembly. For Christ's sake.
Yes,
hold on. You see, I have told you here, governance is not about awarding contract. It's not only about awarding contract. Governance is not only about inspecting project, commissioning project. Your capacity, ability to navigate is key. If as a governor, you have crisis, you don't have to navigate to put your people in charge to make sure your governor is going through. I suffered it. The powers that be at the national level didn't want me to survive. Did I go to church to cry? Did I go to mosque to cry? I came back. I sat down. I said, listen, we have problem. How do we do? We have to navigate this. How do we navigate it? Let me finish. So that give people the opportunity to hear from us. So this attitude of the governor, if it's the mood of the crisis, because the Constitution provided for it. And therefore you must also be careful the kind of infraction. Look at what Supreme Court said. Am I the one? That you are ruling as a despot.
But right now,
hold on. That there's no government. The only thing that makes government democracy is legislature. Under the military, you have executive, you have judiciary, but there will be no legislature. So what makes it democracy is the legislature. When legislature is not there, there's no democracy. And we came down without any qualms. We went to an arm of government that's a symbol of democracy. Brought it down to rule as a despot. Supreme Court says so, white and black. What are people talking about? Nobody want to say, look, this thing you did was right. You sat down out of 32 members of the constituency, of 32 constituencies. You sat down. You are taking 3 people to make law. And you say they have defected. By your own math, it lies in your own math. Defection is by you. The governor said, look, it is by me. Anything I say, how they will be, that's how they will be. Who does that in this world? Who does that?
He said by his own mouth, but we saw them waving flags of the APC.
No, define defection. Supreme Court define defection constitutionally and politically. I want you to go and read the judgment. So now, let me tell you so that it's good to educate the public. Yes, I can say we are defected. But it depends for the speaker to hit the hammer, to declare it vacant. Until that happens, we cannot say the session has been completed.
The speaker who himself was part of
too bad, assuming. I tell you, lawyers were a lawyer. No, hold on now. Too bad. That's why the speaker said politically and constitutionally. Constitutionally now becomes when you are defected. You see, I don't know people who have been defected at the National Assembly. It suits the speaker. It suits the Senate President. Have they declared their seat vacant? They are not. But when it does not suit them, they hit the devil. We have declared their seat vacant. And it is only then you can say the session has taken a place. But if it does not lie on you,
yes,
so say, I wave flag. Yes. Because you know the other said, if I wave flag of another party, okay now that the governor of Delta, the governor of Akwa Ibom said they will support the president. They're defected. Is that the constitutional position for a defection?
Your Excellency, but let's look at the state of play now.
Yes, now you talk about the NBA.
Yeah.
About the abundance. Let me tell you, I've told you, people should thank Mr. President. But me as a politician, selfishly, I'm not happy, I say so. But presently what he did for the interest of the state, the House Assembly members were not happy. And that's why I had to go to London to speak to them. To say, listen, I agree. We are doing a constitutional role. I agree. But look at it on the border.
But Your Excellency,
look at it in the border way. Look, council, no salary, nothing will happen, the state will go down.
Yes.
So on that basis, I like it. Yes. So now you said NBA, it's unfortunate. How would NBA say it's unconstitutional when you collect that gift?
No, they're not connected.
No, hold on.
Yes.
That's why I tell people, when the board of dentists came to see me, he was here, and I told them, what is it? When Justice Nephew gave judgment about local government, NBA came out and condemned the judgment of Justice Nephew. Without reading the judgment.
They made comments without reading a judgment?
Yes, which has never happened, yes. Now, the president declared an emergency. He said, oh, it's not going. Now, until everybody now knew why. you are doing what you are doing. But instead give you a gift of 300 million naira. A gift that was not appropriated. There was no appropriation. You took MPA. You took 300 million and said it's a gift.
They solicited for help, and you are a member of the NBA. And you have supported the NBA yourself.
So hold on. In my budget, I put grant. In my budget, I put grant. I'm allowed by law. It's about appropriated. In this case, there was no appropriation. And for NBA to take an illegal gift, assuming that this didn't come up now, do you know that they took gifts?
Are you suggesting that the stance of the NBA was influenced,
of course,
by the gift that they received?
Are you not aware? Everybody has seen it.
No, they're two separate things.
No, they are not two. Let me tell you. And I can tell you how the money came about. It came through somewhere, senior advocate of Nigeria, who is close to the chairman of NBA. That's why they offered NBA that they are going to host the annual general conference in Port Harcourt.
Will you support the NBA to return the 300 million naira?
What do you mean by support?
It's being a member.
Because a lot of people are saying they should return the money. They are saying you are only a gift. You don't return the gift to who? To the NBA. You are a member.
That's some gift that will kill you. Okay. Like this gift, let me tell you, this gift is too bad. Let me tell you, that's why you have to be careful in certain things you do. Look at what happened. NBA, a judgment of court was given by to the NBA, not being a party to the suit, come out to criticize the judge. Why did he do that? Interest somewhere. Or to this thing about it now, people that no wonder. NBA has never, as a body, come out to criticize judgment of a court. So that does not mean that you as a lawyer, you will not be able to criticize judgment of court. What's the business? Not knowing that there was something going on. Money. 200 million. Did they declare that the state government gave them a gift? Until now.
Your Excellency.
So when you say emergency, people are going to court. They don't understand it. Let the court determine whether what the president did was legal or illegal. Not on the perspective. That's why we have the court.
Yes.
The court must make a problem. This attitude of what we do, something that I don't like. Because to my view, it's wrong. Therefore, it's wrong generally. That's why people have to go to court.
Your Excellency, that's why I wanted you to speak on the state of play right now. There's a state of emergency in your state.
Yes.
You are a politician. You have benefited from the democratic process, sitting on top of the table in Rivers State. Are you doing everything in your power? Because we saw pictures of you and some legislators from the state in London and all that. Are you doing everything in your power to make sure that 6 months is done and everything returns to democracy? Being a beneficiary.
No. The beneficiary of what?
Of the democratic process.
That is why we are supporting the state assembly. That's why we want that the only way there can be democracy is when the legislature is in existence. Now, it behoves you now, who is the governor? To allow democratic structures to be. It behoves on you now to say, look, this thing has happened. How do I do to bring everybody together? Now you hear people talk, go on television, say this and say that. I'm an elder. I'm a leader. Has anybody taken it upon himself or herself in River State today? Say, look, see where we are. What do we do? Let me approach this legislator. Let me approach the leaders of the party. What do we do to make sure things work together?
Maybe they are looking up to you to do that.
So that is the problem I have.
As a leader.
You said you had what I heard one for some of them said I'm the cause of the problem. I am. If I'm the cause of the problem, as an elder, he claims he is. Has he one day called me? Come. What is the problem? Why can't you sit down and talk? And let me know it's okay. see this and see that. Rather, as a true promoter of ethnicity, under Adadio's governor, his River State will so hell. That's the period we had Ogoni and the Okrika crisis. That's the period we had crisis in Okrika land, where human beings were too slaughtered, where he established the Bush boys, axis. Under who? But the man had Amaraba for Okrika, under my government. Under me, under him there was crisis. Bloodshed. There people were dying. He started a faction of what they call them Bush boys. They started a faction and they were killing, slaughtering people. As a governor, as an elder statesman, and you have not. Sir, these are my people. Now somebody who is not from your place came as a governor and said, no, this has to stop. What is this problem? God gave judgment and above. Instantly, I do not waited. I said, look, there must be an end to all this crisis. If I go to the Amana of Okrika, I went ahead and created another first class for Oguruma. I recognized somebody called the Amana of Keke. I recognized somebody called Amana of Okachu. Today, in Okrika, there is peace. If I didn't want peace, as a man of Okrika, I would have allowed it so there would be crisis in that place. I think what I tell people, elder, it's not just because I'm 85 years. Elder also means by your conduct, by your activity. If we are an elder is 85 years and we are not bringing peace, take away that elder and go. Take it away.
So you have admitted that part of the reason why there's the state of emergency was declared in your state was to preempt a number of things which could have degenerated.
I think the president did not want the state to go to that level of where anarchy. And he did the right thing. I said, but selfishly, I wouldn't want it.
Yes, I just want to ask you.
I'm not a politician.
So politicians are happy with anarchy?
No. You don't understand. I wanted the governor not doing well. Get out.
And some people say the sole administrator is also not doing well. He's already acting like a Democrat. When he's supposed to be there, appointing local government chairman.
I'm so surprised about this. You say he's bringing democracy. First of all, remember, and take ourselves back. If this sole administrator does not bring peace in the place, does not set up democratic structures, remember, the moment the 6 months is over, you will fall back to Supreme Court judgment. Today, by getting their money, because a state of emergency has been declared. Ordinarily, if a state of emergency was not declared, money will go to the state, money will go to the local government. It's not hypocritical. Money is flowing to the hands of the state and the local government under an administration that is not democratic. Listen to what I said now. That's the point I'm trying to make. I want to be hypocritical about it. Because the administration is not democratic. No, the movement is not democratic. It's a sole administrator. No. The government are already collapsed. Supreme Court are giving the government that no government. And therefore, there's no appropriation. And you cannot spend money without appropriation. There's no local government. Who will take the money? Who will preside over the money? Emergency route ordinarily is an aberration. However, because the Constitution recognizes that a situation like this may come up, but the president has power to do what he did. In order to say, okay, for the time being, let us have some peace. But in having that peace, civil servants must be paid. In having that peace, institution must be run. You cannot say civil servants should not be paid, schools should not go on, hospitals should not go on. How about?
Well, the Constitution never says that a democratically elected governor will be swept off his feet because the intention of the Constitution is
remember Section 305 said we're going to get the exceptional steps. But like I said, the matter is in court. let the court interpret. And that's why people should be patient. Up to now, we have almost about 11 cases. I hear the PDP governors went to court. I hear.
Yes,
That's what I heard. They know. They all did that. It's just to me. They deceived the governor. They deceived him. Don't you know the governor? Apply this. Apply that. Yes, where they are.
Your Excellency, if we are looking at a long-lasting peace, we are 2 months gone into the state of emergency.
No, 1 month.
1 month gone. In 6 months is expected to be over. And you stated clearly that the president's decision sort of gave the governor a lifeline. Should his supporters be bothered that after the state of emergency, because we know these 27 lawmakers are part of your political family?
That's what we are saying. He who wears the shoe knows where it pitches him. Is that correct? You recover. So hold on. Look at the circumstances where you are. You should take the bull by the horn. Take steps. I told you here. Has anybody approached anybody?
So Governor Simi Fubara hasn't called you on the line since his suspension.
I have told you, have anybody approached anybody? You know, well, you see, I don't like people who are hypocrites. I have told you, mention one leader, one so-called elder in Rivers that has taken steps. Those of them who are running around the governor, collecting money. I hear one of them is always in the golf course, IBB golf course here, playing golf. Has he gone here to say, look, now we're under this kind of situation. What do we do? 6 months will still be over. Have we achieved the peace we are supposed to achieve? Because at the end of the day, if you don't achieve anything, then you still go back to square one. And which does not make sense. Does it not occur to you that, look, if nothing is being achieved now, there's no population. There's no democratic, there's no elected local government. Supreme Court judgment must be implemented.
So you hold administrator accountable to. That's what people.
That is why it is called emergency rule. Which I told you, as a politician, I'm not happy. But to solve the situation, and that's where the president came in. And that's why those who know should not know that let's take this opportunity. I said, look, I know this is the problem. Can we do this? Can we do this? You must make sacrifice. Some will think that coming of those who know, should that include you? It's not only coming out, should that include national television?
Yes, Your Excellency, some will say, Your Excellency, that you, more than anybody else, should be the one also mediating this peace process. Simply because this is just less than a year after you left office. This is the legacy. As in, the governor was your man, the House of Assembly members are your people. So, what I would say, you are even more of a stakeholder in making sure that this process of peace gets to fruition.
Now, let me tell you, but the same assembly people listen to me. Is that right? But the government didn't listen to me.
Just see him as a stubborn son.
Okay, no problem. Now, let me tell you something. Have you heard the parable of the prodigal son? Let me tell you, the father left those who listened to him and went in search of that only one that didn't listen to him. That's a prodigal son, no. That's not correct. When a prodigal son comes back and pleads, I said, look, forgive me. I've made a mistake. I want us to move forward. You are human. You are human. What? In sincerity, let me tell you, 2 governors under APC, which means with an influential person from outside the state, 2 governors under APC, right? Came to talk to me. And I said, look, I'm not the governor. I'm not city minister. There was a gang up against me here. And I knew there was a gang up. I had to put some structures on ground to see that there is peace. That I do my work. I don't need to allow enemies to capitalize on one or two things. Who will suffer? is the administration of the president, who has confidence and people in this place. So I don't need to begin to give excuse. You are a governor. You have a problem. That's why I said governance is not only restricted to award of contract and commission of project. It takes beyond that. If you are this today, will you pick his call? These two, I said these two governors came to me. And I said, look, I'm here for peace. What does he want? What does he want? And I said, look, we'll do everything to make. I said, in sincerity, if anybody comes there, they say, look, you want it, but it may be in sincerity. Let me tell you, I've been in this system, I've been in government. I'm not doing politicians play. Politicians buy time. The best opportunity was when president intervened. The day president intervened, the assembly went immediately and we did impeachment notice. You heard what happened. Some elders came up. President had no power. What did they was political? They went to court. They went to court. A lot of suits were instigated. Where did he lead us to now? Who is on suspension? Is it me? I mean, it was in wisdom. A good president of a country called you, whether he was right or he was wrong, at least at that level. That's okay. Let me stomach. Let me listen to him. And you play your own part. Maybe I do not play their own part. Mr. President, he has played his part. People are saying, look, do you understand what it takes? For 16 months, you seize people's salary. They don't pay their children's school fees. Most of us are just talking. Do you know what it takes? Let me ask all of you here, that your children are at home. Why? Not to pay their school fees. Why? Somebody has stopped my salary for 16 good months. So and nobody appears to take that into consideration. So it fails. And I expected that somebody should say, look, this thing should end. Let me go. Sir, man, we can't continue this way. Let's sit down and talk on the table. All this arrogance of going to national channels arise to abuse anybody. You are hearing, they say I'm dead. They flee me out. All those things will not give you the peace. You carry coffin. Which is dead. It's not my business. If people who have heard, who really understand what it is, should say, look, we have done this for how many years now? What have we achieved? Can there be peace? Rather, they try to make sure the problem does not end. They make money.
Two quick questions, because we're already about to move to the FCT. I wanted to ask you, first, you have said that you are open to forgiveness if the governor should come to you for forgiveness. Sincerely. Okay, so that is clarified. The second issue is, what party do the assembly members of Rivers State belong to?
They belong to PDP.
They belong to PDP?
Yeah. The court has ruled the other day. You see, when people are Femi Falana, who is the lawyer to channels on all these things, lies. I mean, a senior advocate, you go to court, you lie, but the issue of defection is at the Federal High Court. You refuse to tell people that you do what they call a cross appeal. When the Court of Appeal gave judgment that these people had defected, you had a cross appeal in Supreme Court. And Supreme Court made an announcement about it. You lied. So when the judgment came out, people said, I think they said Supreme Court has not pronounced on the defection. What happened a few days ago? Federal Court said Supreme Court has settled this matter of defection. Now, if such people at that level can come out on national television and lie, and you may not take it serious, but it's very hurting. And lies can cause a lot of crisis. Before you know it, so many things have gone wrong. And there are things you don't do. And that's the problem I have with some senior lawyers who live on telling lies.
What do you make of the character of the members of your party who were blue flags?
Of kind of what? And I'm demanding a stand.
Yes.
We don't not support the president to the president.
Sorry.
Yes, we do not support the president to the president. So what is we now that they said on the mandate they stand? We don't know say 2023 that they stand on the mandate and voted for you. So what is we?
Talking about the mandate, sir, we'll come to the FCT.
Yeah.
Because time is not our friend now. We need to look at what is happening in a couple of months. I mean, just over a month. You are supposed to see the next step of projects in the FCT, which will be unveiling. You've gone around, and I think on Friday again you were in some places. Tell us the level of projects now and how many are we likely to unveil?
You tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Are you happy or not? Tell me the truth. Are you happy? Don't you see?
Your Excellency, I'm smiling.
Your Excellency, things are not happening. We need to be smiling.
Honorable Minister.
The difference is clear. If you didn't there, you didn't there. Honorable Minister, you can see what is going on in FCT everywhere. People are talking. People are saying, you mean this is possible within a short time of less than 2 years that this could be provided? That we are here 8 years? Nothing happened. We are not going to 2 years. See what has happened. So, in 4 years' time, what will happen? Look, some of us take the light. When I go out, I see that people are happy. I went to Kwadi. On road to Lokoja, 80 to Pi. I went to that road. Look, it's like, in those days, as a politician, they were going to bring women, young girls for you to marry. For the good things you are doing. Yes.
They almost gave you one in Kwadi.
No, I'm not a party for that. So the point I'm making is that it shows how happy people are. Then from Pi to Gromani, go and see. Inquiry is not a trade to. Inquiry to Kula. Look, people should come. So truly, that's a, government can come to the rural area. Is it true? It has never happened.
Honorable Minister.
So people are happy. Look at what we are going to touch in May. In May, have you been to the international conference of that?
Yes, and the controversy about the cost of it, that is...
You are not the one to define it's a procurement process. So let me tell you, I'm not a man of cheap quality. Even the way I dress, I wear quality things.
Very, very
so
well,
you don't expect anything I will do as lower standard. Even I won't do that. Look, when you suppose inaugurated the Cross Parliament, it's when I saw you shed tears for this country. You know this is an international conference center. Look, before President came, I told the Senate President, I said, look, this is embarrassing. He said, what are you going to do? Immediately President came, he called my attention. No bobs, nothing. Somebody will go to one senator, ran down the place. It was terrible. It was terrible. Now, I shut it down on emergency because most people use there for whatever. So if you follow the normal procurement process, it will take long. So we have to do it under emergency. Who built it? George Berger built it. So we don't need to go and look for. To say, we don't know where the cable passed and this and we go to George Berger. And George Berger is not a cheap company. You know that. Now, we've got George Berger. Today, go to that National Conference Center. By this May, I will invite you. You come as what they call international conference center. You will be happy as a Nigerian that you have done this. Now, what happened? Ethnic politics came. Religion came. Hey, because he's so religion. Because he's so place. That's why I can't see it. I mean, I cannot understand that. The only thing we have was random. You can make your money. And nobody's against it. But it is not your property. It is the only symbol. And I told them, to hell. Some people came, oh, you know this. I said, this is getting too much.
Well,
that's happened. So this way, Mr. President, I hope you be around.
Yeah, I mean,
I come and feel, I come and know that good thing is good thing.
And that same senator has been criticizing the federal government very, very.
I don't know. I don't care.
But just to add, Honorable Minister,
criticize as much as you want to criticize. Is it devil that criticize?
Yeah.
Human beings will criticize.
Yeah, also, the issues of hospitals, Honorable Minister, I need to add that there are several uncompleted hospitals that your administration inherited. One is at Utako here. There's also another one in Guagonda, another one in I think Buari also. How soon are you going to focus on expanding or bringing to life this kind of infrastructural development to the hospitals? Because a lot of Nigerians are finding healthcare costly in Abuja here because private hospitals are milking them. Even we journalists, when we are sick, we don't get some of the required attention in hospitals. How soon can you attend to our hospitals?
Let me tell you one thing. Life is key. Life is key. When you see that don't kill you, it's not correct. I do agree with you that we must provide the best for our people. And in providing the best, we require resources. Our procurement process takes a lot of time. And which I have said, when I was governor, I tried to speak with the assembly. I said, look, if you follow the procurement act, we won't go anywhere. Therefore, assembly, we need to amend the procurement process so as to be able to cater easily, urgently for certain things. Our hospital is one of it. The Otako had a problem. It came down. Part of it fell. Now, when I came on board, there were issues, litigation issues. So many projects under litigation. And you try to say, let us see how we can resolve some of these issues and go ahead. But thank God, we're almost there. That some of these issues are being resolved. The Tako, Wagalada, and some of them. We are not trying to rid of them, they were Guarimpa and the rest of them. And the way they are also built, you see, it's unfortunate. Building of hospital is different from building of marriage house. That's what I have found out. You don't build hospital just like ordinary house you are building. From day one, those who are going to supply the equipment must work with those who are doing the civil engineering. It's not where you come and build, you break this, you break this. No. And these are the kind of things we found out. So listen, let's take this in the way it's supposed to be done. I feel guilt that the kind of things we have as hospital is not what's supposed to be. But we'll get there.
Yes,
that I can tell you.
One burning issue has been the issue of land reforms in the FCT. I know several days ago, information came out from the FCTA that those who had received area council lands should regularize their papers with the FCDA in line with a court judgment which had come several years ago. Now, but the issue many are asking, we know one thing about the capital cities infrastructure. Infrastructure is built before people going to begin to take possession of their lands and build. But people say that the same is not with the area council, that there are still people who have lands in the bushes and they cannot access those lands despite being allocated by the area council.
Okay, can I ask you, why did you go for the allocation? Why did you apply for land? why did you apply for land? First of all, there should be documentation. When you apply for land, you do the documentation. In doing the documentation, there are fees that are paid. And people should also know there's no government can, within your 4 years or 8 years in office, we have provided infrastructure everywhere. You take it step by step. Government has allocated Matama 2 years ago. It is now, I said it, we have to develop infrastructure here. People who have allocation have not even paid their money. How much is it?
21 days now to pay.
No, I'm coming. Take for example, are you telling me, admission, you apply that you want land, and government's okay, follow the process. And within 21 days, you've not paid 300,000 naira to have their papers. For Christ's sake. For Christ's sake. I mean, we like to do things, we don't like to follow procedure. Supreme Court has come to say, look, every land belongs to the FCT. Therefore, there's nothing like area council land. And we don't want to go by saying we have cancelled all the allocation. We are not doing notice, okay, let's regularize, I'm sure you can have your CO. What is the wrong thing that we have done? 2, some people have their RFO, they don't go for CFO. They use their RFO as land speculators to begin to go and sell. And you deny government of the required funds. I have told you here, if the federal government gets 800 billion a month, now what is given to them is 8 billion. 8 billion cannot pay salary as it is to the minimum wage. Not less than 15 billion naira will pay. Now if you sit back, without aggressively pursuing these funds, we will be able to pay salaries. We need to talk about infrastructure. And people, there's nowhere in this world that you can say it's free. How much are you paying?
Very commendable, Your Excellency.
Now, everybody,
the aspect of the land,
everybody, now, again, you have land, 2 years, not development. You have shanties everywhere. That alone is a security threat. And people don't do this because they have become land speculators. Somebody comes, he wants to do mass housing. Government allocates the land to you, 500 hectares. The land was not going to have mass housing. He now sells the land. Piecemeal. And makes money. I will suffer.
Your Excellency, we need to move very fast because
it's not fair.
Yes, the Abuja will be 50 by February 6. A lot of Nigerians are expecting maybe like a commission or a study to see how the coming of the Federal Capital Territory in this axis has affected the FCT original inhabitants, Nigerians who are here, the infrastructure, the Abuja Master Plan itself. What are you doing ahead of the 50th anniversary? Is the Abuja Master Plan still intact? Should we review it? After 30 years, it's supposed to have been reviewed, but it hasn't been reviewed.
The problem we have, you always try to, in a rush. We know I'm going to be 50 by next year. We want to be patient and see what we are doing. Part of the Abuja Master Plan is to keep Abuja the way the Master Plan was done. Remember, I'm sure, you too, you are part of the problem because you are from Abuja. Take for example, look at this thing up, Baduma, get over there. That happened. If you are passing, a road done by Gilmore, that road ought to pay us too. Compensation has been paid to communities. Long, more than 20 years. Leadership is a problem. So, but not giving compensation. allow us to develop. And the land they have been allocated more than 20 years ago, right? Now I have called them. They said no. They want another compensation, right? These are problems. Oh, why are you bulldozing people's houses? I will bulldoze it. I will. This area, I will do it. Because, you see, that is against the master plan of Abuja. You can't have those kind of shanties within the city. The development has come, but it's unfortunate.
But they say all of them were compensated.
No, it's not correct. Even this one we are doing now, Girishi or whatever. Girishi. It took me time. I left Milan. I have sat down with them. They achieved everything. They said no.
But you agreed to pay some money. Have they been paid?
Well, in fact, I paid double.
Yes, in fact, that's
I had to be there for the demolition of the
very commendable because you should
have now the point I'm making is that if I don't take that both step, the place won't develop. Now, I want to give district no infrastructure. So, without the EFCC as an academy, the university took 11,000 hectares of land. Tell me, each ward, now the university will sit on 11,000 hectares of land. I was going to ask you, what have you resolved with them? No, what I'm saying, I will not allow that. I will not allow that. Because we are not doing infrastructure. People have to move. The city is very congested. So are you going to take part of the land? Well, not are we going to take, we have taken. When you say are you going to take, we have left 4,000. This is not 4,000. The federal government give them that land. What happened with them? And then it has why not what do you know original habitat? Who's not the original habitat here? I mean, let's not begin this. The point is, you tell me, can the university be given 11,000 hectares of land? To do what? For Christ's sake. To do what? All they not do, they partition, they sell. The city is getting too congested. Now go there and see the road that we're doing now. So the one you took, was it without resistance? The one you are taking from the... The only thing you do here that the people will not resist. That what it means. At the end of the day, we will conquer.
Honourable Minister, let me take you up on the issue. I mean, you've spoken extensively about infrastructure, and really, I mean, a lot of people, when you come into the city, you see very clearly that there's a marked difference. However, in terms of maintaining this infrastructure, in terms of cleaning it, sanitation, those who are supposed to sweep the roads, if you go along the Nnamdi Azikiwe Expressway, for instance, the part from Apo to Apo under the bridge to Apo bypass now, that overpass you've made, has become a car park of sorts. There seems to be no order. People can follow one way as they please. Okada riders are all over the place. I don't know who is in charge.
Let me tell you, you are part of our problems. Tomorrow, you want to on channel, or how you are not allowing people to survive. Yes, but the problem wasn't making the board. I'm coming. You see, that's the problem we have. Government comes up to say, look, this is what must be done. Government impounds these vehicles, get them arrested. You won't tell the correct story. The story is that under this economic hardship, vehicles have been impounded.
With no respect, channels will always have the correct story.
No.
Always.
No. I use channel as a case in point. All of you give it. Go to Arise.
You're sounding like a journalist.
No. You go to Arise. We have problems to ourselves. We have talked about cleaning, sanitation. Do you know one big area is sanitation?
Yes.
And it's very expensive. Is that right?
Yes.
It is.
I'm coming. Those who clean up, they will pay. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Will they be paid?
Yes.
And people have to pay their taxes for it before you pay? Before we pay those cleaners? Have you helped us to say, look, What are you talking about? All these refuse you are generating, government needs to remove them. Money has to be paid. This is a place where I see a country where I see that a man thinks he has a right to bring refuse out. The government will remove it. I've never seen anything like that. And government said, yes, we are coming to remove it. We have to pay a token. It's a problem. Look at even in Asokoro. It's a problem. And you continue to preach. Because nowhere in this world, it doesn't happen that way. Sanitation is a very serious thing.
Maybe you should consider waste recycling plants, sir. Waste recycling plants.
Do that. The point that, with all due respect to you, let me ask you one question. How many of you? Yeah. You live in Abuja. You have a house in Abuja. You have a house in Abuja. Tell me the truth.
I don't have one.
No, tell me the truth. But you live in When have you paid a sanitation fee? I want to start with you.
Your Excellency,
I want to start with you. Who asked the question?
In fairness, journalists do not answer questions. But I will answer your question. I am very prompt. I'm very prompt in paying my sanitation fees. But what I want to ask you very squarely is, whose job? Because sometimes these things start in bits. Take, for instance, the new road you just built in front of Guzape expanded, in front of SARS. This thing started like started in piecemeal, Okada men facing one way. Now it's a menace.
That's what we're trying to do now. By the time we finish this bus terminals and the rest, we have an opportunity now to say no, we can't be using that area. People ask us, why are you stopping them when there's nowhere for them to load and this and that? It was found an alternative, first of all. By the grace of God, we're almost done with the third bus terminal. We'll be able to. It's okay. If you want to, this is where you will load. This is the dropping point, right? In that case, we will not be able to see that. Yes, we have been able to reduce this so-called illegal car park. It's horrible. Not only that, even where I live, when you see kidnappers, they take over your house and you sit down. This is not what's supposed to be. As somebody asks you, what is the alternative you have provided? And then you show under the economic hardship. Everything now is under economic hardship.
Honorable Minister, we just have to stop to this chat here. We are completely out of time. But considering the fact that from now to May 29 is still a long time before Mr. President commissions those projects, we will still probably have the opportunity of you telling us one by one what those projects are about and the different things they bring about.
We'll let you know. All right. I will believe that you will be happy with what you have done.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Because it's Good Friday, we wish you a Merry Easter, Happy Easter.
Yeah, this day should be good.
Happy Easter. Thank you. My name is Ben Gary. My colleagues there are Amadin Uyi,
Samna Sambo,
Isaiah Ogunfui.
My wife, Ogun yourself.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you again.
It's a pleasure.
As we count down to Nigeria's broadcasting doyen, Prince Bisiolatilo's highly anticipated Jubilee Anniversary celebration and the Silver Jubilee Anniversary of the Bisiolatilo Show, BOS The Ultimate. Time to roll out names of the winners of the prestigious Bisiolatilo Show BOS Awards in the different categories. For BOS Bank of the Year Award, Wema Bank PLC, Nigeria's longest-standing indigenous bank, celebrating 80 years this year, win clearly. BOS Award for Nigeria's Businessman of the Year goes to globally acclaimed multi-billionaire Dr. Abdul Samad Rabiu, founder and CEO of Boer Conglomerates. BOS Award for the fastest wealth creator among young Africans through his Prosperity for All Africans mantra is Mr. Tony Elumelu, founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, celebrating 15 years this year. BOS Award for the most friendly and very impactful politician goes to His Excellency Senator Doyediri, Governor of Bayelsa State, popularly known as the Man of Peace. BOS Award for the backbone and all-time pillar of support for Prince Biscon and Biscon Communication will be presented posthumously to High Chief Raymond Dokbesi, founder and funder of Dar Communications PLC, owners of AIT and Ray Power FM. BOS Award for the ultimate benefactor to Prince Biscon and Biscon Communication is Sir Kessington Adebukunla Adebutu, CFR, CON, OON. Sir Kessington Adebutu will be 90 years on the 24th of October 2025. Join us on Biscon Communication to pray along with him. BOS Award for the Ultimate Entrepreneur of the Year goes to globally respected multi-billionaire businesswoman and biggest player in the oil and gas sector, Barrister Mrs. Uju Ifejika. BOS Award for the all-round development and good governance of Lagos State in the last 5 years and still counting with the Lagos Rising mantra is Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. BOS Award for good governance go to Governors Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, Umoeno of Akwa Ibom State, Peter Mba of Enugu State, Sheriff Oborowori of Delta State, Abiodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State, and Abba Yusuf of Kano State, where Prince Olatilo spent 13 of his formative years growing up. BOS All-Time Supporters Award will be led by Olori Chief Mrs. Nike Akonde, CON, who sleeps and wakes watching Biscon TV with religious regularity every day. Other all-time supporters and die-hard fans of BOS and Biscon TV are Alhaji Razak Okoya, CON, Prince Samuel Adedoyin, who turns 90 years on December 4th, 2025. BOS Media Disruptor of the Year Award goes to Prince Nduka Obaigbena, founder and creator of This Day Newspapers and Arise News TV, the toast of television viewers in Nigeria, Africa, and the world. BOS Award for the most professionally run television station in Nigeria and Africa at large goes to Dr. John Momo, OON, Chairman of Channels Media Group, as Channels TV celebrates 30 years of painstakingly setting the trend of television programming in alignment with world standards. BOS Showbiz Personality of the Year, who has put Nigeria's name on the global map in top-class entertainment, proudly made in Nigeria fashion shows with radio and television platforms strictly, mostly about entertainment programming, without any doubt. Bayelsa State-born Senator Ben Murray Bruce, who also celebrates 45 years in the showbiz and entertainment business, is the winner of BOS Showbiz Personality of the Year Award. For changing the narrative from transactional to transformational development with the commissioning of projects in the 11 states of the NDDC, BOS Award for Transformational Leadership goes to NDDC, headed by Dr. Samuel Ogbuku and Chairman of NDDC, Barrister Chiedu Ebie, who have done very well for themselves and the younger generations of Nigerians. BOS Prestigious Banker of the Year Award goes to the Group Managing Director and CEO of Zenith Bank PLC, Dame Dr. Adora Umoji, OON, a distinguished pride to womanhood. Barrister Chief Nyesom Wike, CON, the Minister of FCT, who retained the services of BOS and Biscon TV to properly position River State in his first term in office as Governor of River State, picks up the BOS Prestigious Award for super project with which he has turned around the face of Abuja. BOS Special Award of the Multi-Industrialist of the Year goes to Alhaji Aliko Dangote, GCON, Africa's richest man, who also clocks 68 years this year. The Grand BOS Mega Award for selfless service to the nation will be jointly received by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and his amiable wife, Nigeria's First Lady, Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON. The clock is ticking fast. The date is Tuesday, 13th May 2025, and Prince Bisiolatilo's Golden Jubilee Anniversary and BOS Silver Jubilee Anniversary will be held at the Shell Hall of Muson Center, Lagos. See you there.
People, it's your favorite girl Favor, and you know how it goes here at Biscon TV. Welcome to another sizzling episode of La Vida Lagos. Of course, you know how it goes. La Vida Lagos, La Vida Loca. But sometimes life gets so loca that even the stars have to pause and ask, wait, is this really all there is? As we celebrate the Easter, the season of resurrection, reflection, and rebirth, we're flipping the script on all glitz and glam to shine a light on faith over fame. And on today's show, I will be telling you about 5 Nigerian celebrities who had it all, but decided to trade all the worldly success for something deeper, something more, for purpose, for peace, and for power in Christ. Talk about a divine glow up. So first off, we have Banky W, who came from the King of Lagos Nights to a Kingdom Soldier. Once upon a groove, he was the King of Lagos parties, dropping R&B hits back to back and stealing the hearts of our women, you know? But now he's got a mic in one hand and the Word of God on the other. Pastor Banks, as he's fondly called, now ministers the gospel with the same passion he once gave the stage. This Easter, he's a living example of how God can remix your life into something eternally. Number 2, we have Chidima, who went from chart to the church choir. She sang her way to stardom as Nigeria's sweetheart. But even with the awards, with the fame, with the fans, Chidima felt a void. Then came the switch from secular to strictly gospel. Now a crusader for Christ, she says God is her source and she's working in the purpose he designed. I'm working in power, oh, I'm working in miracle. Remember that song? This season, her story reminds us that it's never too late for your own resurrection story. Next on the list, we have Lynx, who went from fresh boy to Faith Walker. Remember that fine boy that told you to change your parade? Well, Lynx changed his too. After a powerful encounter in 2015, he ditched the Jollof music lifestyle for something richer, for something more, intimacy with God. His music may have paused, but his purpose is louder than ever, and we're so proud of him. Moving on, we have Obi-Wan, who went from winning awards to the altar. He had Nigeria's Voice of the Decade, but fame wasn't enough. It never is, actually. Obi-Wan turned his mind towards ministry after a personal reflection on life, fame, and legacy. Today, he still sings love songs, but now that love flows from the heart of God. This Easter, his journey is proof that every prodigal can find their way home. And finally, we have the billionaire baby, DJ Cuppy, who became a baptized believer. The world knew her as the pink-loving, turntable-spinning heiress of fun. But Cuppy unplugged from the noise. Baptized in 2024 and this April, she confessed, "I had everything, but I still felt empty." Reminds me what either it was Solomon or Jesus said. What would it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Well, I guess Cuppy was asking the same question. Now she's chasing fulfillment through faith and sharing every step. Her transformation is the ultimate remix, and we are here for it this resurrection season. So this Easter, maybe it's time to reflect. Are you chasing the world, or are you chasing your why? That is, are you chasing your purpose? You see, these stars have shown us that success isn't about the stage. It isn't about the fame. It's not about the spotlight. It's not about the stats. It's not about any of that. It's about purpose. It's about definition. It's about the spirit. It's about finding truth. It's about finding peace and purpose in God and in faith. So whether you're in church, at a beach hangout, or you're probably just vibing at home, let this Easter inspire your own rise from the ashes. Okay, that's it, guys. From us here, we wish you a happy Easter. Remember, La Vida Lagos, La Vida Loca. But with Jesus, it's La Vida Eternal. Bye-bye for now.
Hello and welcome to the weekend. You know when it's weekend, you know what we do here on Biscon TV. Welcome to Sports Trends. Yeah, I get to tell you the latest sports gist that happened during the week. I am Odigio Walter, your host, and follow me as I take you through from Champions League actions to Europa League actions and to the news that Virgil van Dijk have extended his contract at Liverpool, and of course, Charles in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Where do we start from? No other place but the Champions League. Yes, it was a very good Champions League week. Let's start with on Tuesday, where Barcelona traveled to Dortmund for the return leg of their Champions League tie. Guess what? Barca had won the first leg 4-0, and we were thinking it's going to be, easy game for Barcelona, but Dortmund nearly pulled a comeback. It was 3-1. It ended. Grassy, that African boy, scoring 3 goals for Dortmund. Barcelona goal came via an own goal, and it ended on aggregate 3-5 in favor of Barcelona. Dortmund tried. They gave their best, but their best wasn't the best. So it was Barcelona, Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, Pedri, Gavi, Lewandowski, Rafinha that went through at the expense of Dortmund. So yeah, see Barcelona at the semi-finals of the 2024-2025 UEFA Champions League season. Next up is Aston Villa playing at home against Paris Saint-Germain. They lost the first leg at the Parc des Princes by 3-1. I know everybody are like, okay, it's all over, but Villa showed why they are one of the best teams in England this season and why they are in the Champions League. Yeah, they fought back. They could not just, overturn the game finally. It ended 3-2 on the night, and PSG scaled through 5-4 on aggregate. Goals from Yuri Tielemans, McGreen, and Konsa for Aston Villa. While for PSG, it was Hakimi and Nuno Mendes. So it wasn't enough for Aston Villa, like I said earlier, but a good fight, good spirited fight, and their fans left the stadium very happy and positive. Now Aston Villa will focus on the Premier League and see how they can get back to the Champions League via qualifying from the Premier League positions. Why for PSG? Yes, it is the semi-final. They'll be really excited to take part in that one. Now, moving on to Wednesday, Inter Milan against Bayern Munich. That was a game that, a lot of persons are like, Inter, it will be an easy game for Inter, but Bayern were stubborn. They took the lead through Hurricane. It was 1-0. Then Inter showed their strength. Goals from Lautaro Martinez and Pavard made it 2-1 before Eric Dyer made it 2-2. Bayern needed one more goal considering they lost the first leg 1-2 at home to Inter, but it didn't come. So it was Inter who progressed, winning 4-3 on aggregate. Then the final game. Where do I start from? Before this match, there was a lot of noise coming from Spain. Ramotenda, come back. Like we all thought Real Madrid were going to drill Arsenal. Real Madrid, they lost the first leg 3-0 at the Emirates, and they were traveling to Spain. Arsenal was traveling to Spain to face a Real Madrid side that had been doing all the talking prior to the game on Wednesday. On Tuesday, Vini posted, "See you tomorrow." Rodrigo posted, "See you tomorrow." Bellingham posted, "See you tomorrow." They said that they are going to close the roof. They said that they are going to do this. They said that they are going to do that. They said that the players, they will not come through the tunnel. They will disappear from heaven. They said so many things. Even me, I was scared for Arsenal because the way Real Madrid were preparing for this game, you would think heaven will come down. But guess what? Arsenal took the lead through Bukayo Saka, although Vini equalized for Real Madrid, but in the 93rd minute of that game, Gabriel Martinelli snatched the victory for Arsenal to give them a comfortable, over and away victory over Real Madrid. So it ended 5-1 on aggregate. That was really humiliating. Like, I'm sorry. If I was a Real Madrid fan, I would not be able to talk to today because this was such a bad result for Real Madrid. One that has left their manager, Carlo Ancelotti, thinking about resigning at the end of the season, or he might even face the sack. So yeah, we don't know what will happen with that, but it was such a bad result. Madrid shouldn't be losing 5-1 on aggregate to Arsenal. It's unheard of, and I'm sorry. I feel sorry for Madrid. Congratulations to Arsenal. Yeah, so that was the result from this week's UEFA Champions League. So for the semi-finals, Arsenal will take on PSG. Yes, so it's going to be a good game. First leg in the Emirates and the second leg in Paris. While for the second game, Barcelona against Inter Milan. I'm looking forward to that game because, I believe Inter are the strongest team in the Champions League. So I really want to see how they will fare against a Barcelona side full of young boys with flair, skills, and trickery. But that's for the Champions League. So till the semi-final, we will tell you how it went and I'll gist you what happened. So let's move on from the Champions League to the Europa League. Manchester United. There's one advert or one comedy. The guy will be reading this. You say, Manchester United. So that was what nearly happened on Thursday at Old Trafford. Manchester United, they were leading comfortably. Okay, the first leg ended 2-2 in Lyon. So the second leg at Old Trafford, United were leading 2-0, comfortable first half. Then the second half, Lyon equalized through Tolisso and what's it called now? Tagliafico. So it was 2-2 on the night. Then in the 88th minute of that game, Lyon got a red card. So after that red card, you expect it to be straightforward for United from there, right? That's why let me just see what happened in extra time. So 10-man Lyon with a red card, they went ahead to score the third goal, leading United 3-2, and the fourth goal 4-2. As at 113 minutes, Lyon were leading 4-2, which means United were on the verge of going out of the Europa League. But in football, like I always say, it's never over until it's over. With 7 minutes remaining, United were able to score 3 goals thanks to Bruno Fernandes' penalty, Kobe Mino, and Harry Maguire in the 121st minute. So yeah, United went through on that one. It was scary, but it was a good comeback, and their fans have not stopped disturbing us on top of Europa League. Can you imagine? I'll stay one side. So United went through, and Athletic Bilbao, they won 2-0 against Rangers, 2-0 on aggregate. They also went through to the semi-finals. Lazio surprisingly lost to Bodo Glimt. They won 3-1 on the night. They lost the first leg 2-0, so it was 3-3 on aggregate. They went to penalty, and Bodo Glimt won in penalty shootout. Why? For Tottenham Hotspur, whose manager Ange Postecoglou has been under all sort of pressure this season, they finally managed to win that game after drawing the first leg at home 1-1. They won 1-0 and won 2-1 on aggregate. So those are the teams, and this is the semi-finals of the Europa League. It will be Tottenham against Bodo Glimt, Manchester United against Athletic Bilbao. So let me know what you think of those games and who will make it to the final. So away from the Europa Leagues, let's quickly touch on what happened in the Conference League. Chelsea were 1-2 losers on the night against Legia Warsaw, but Chelsea went through 4-2 on aggregate. Mind you, they won 3-0 in the first leg, while Fiorentina played a 2-2 draw. They also won 4-3 on aggregate after winning 2-1 in the first leg. Jagiellona, they played a 1-1 draw against Real Betis, and Betis, of course, won that tie 3-1 on aggregate and went through to the semi-final. While Rapid, they were 1-0 winners on the first leg, but they lost at home in the second leg 1-4 to Jogadin, and Jogadin went through on aggregate 4-2. So yeah, that's how the Conference League play out. With Chelsea will be taking on Fiorentina in the semi-final, while Real Betis will play Jogadin. So the winners of those ties will progress to the final of the Europa League. It's good to win a trophy. It doesn't matter if it's a Conference League, Carabao Cup. It just feels good to win a trophy at the end of the season. I'm sure all 4 clubs are looking towards that. So now, away from UEFA competitions, let's tell you good news if you're Liverpool fans. Your captain, Virgil van Dijk, has signed a new 2 years contract extension. Last week, I told you Mo Salah has extended. So this week, good news, Liverpool fans, as Van Dijk have extended his contract. Van Dijk is 33-year-old and signed from Southampton some 8 years ago for £75 million. But guess what? He's repaid every penny that was spent on him with good performances that have seen him won the Premier League, won the Champions League, the Carabao Cup, the Club World Cup, and so many more. So him and Salah, after extending, they'll be looking towards, ending the season on a high by winning the Premier League this season. Just small, I remember for them to win the Premier League. They need 2 wins from their final 6 games. You can bet against them if you think you have to get, and they will not get 2 wins in 6 games. While I'm certain Liverpool are champions elect. That's all on Sport Trend this week. I know you like the gist. I know you want me to continue, but unfortunately, this is where we'll call it a day. Till next week, I remain Odige Walter, and don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms at Biscon TV and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Biscon TV. From me and everyone on the production team, it's bye-bye until next week. Shut it.
And I watch them regularly. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
I've seen things. When I got in here, I said, "Are we not CNN with the BBC?" Well done, all of you. Well done.
But it's the same to you too. Congratulations and well done. You've carried on for so long.
Thank you.
We look at you, we say, this guy. Nobody would think that with your multilingual, tendencies, with your different styles of MC, with your ability to carry on Biscon communications and all that, you're there. Always there.
But thank God for that.
So you're worth celebrating.
Thank you very much.
How have you managed it?
God first. And the thing that we broadcasters know all the time, passion than hard work. Passion and hard work.
I spoke to a few friends.
2 things that go together.
You're a very committed, loyal friend. That's what they said. And they're not even broadcasters. So how do you manage to keep all of these, your tentacles of friendship,
Well, I'm happy that you're saying that. I hear that almost every day. And with that, I've been able to build a very big brand equity that is almost turned to be like a lifelong, what do you call that now, that can keep me till my life ends. And that's why I've been able to have the kind of successes you're talking about. I've amassed so much in terms of goodwill. The goodwill account is like an unfinished one. And that put all of that together, that's why you will see all of this Those
When
that
did
you
you start
help, they
broadcasting?
also they want to help 75. That's a Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State.
Oyo?
Yes.
Okay, that would be BCOS.
BCOS, yes.
Yeah, you did a BC, Biscon Communication.
Yeah, Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State.
Yes.
In 75. And what did we do there? It actually fetched me my wife. I've said that almost beginning to sound like a broken record on that. There's this big program that I was, presenting then.
What was it called?
Wazobia is a request show.
Oh, okay.
I paired.
In fact,
with,
you started Wazobia then.
Definitely. I paired with a lady called Tony Egumbo. She's in the UK now, and it was like it hadn't happened before for one man to speak 3 languages fluently and all that.
Fluently.
So I went visiting with a friend to his own girlfriend. Up there I met my wife. And, TV wasn't that the vogue then. It was radio. And radio conceals your identity.
Yeah.
All right? So when she saw me, and it's like everything about me she loved. So instead of me following up, after the first meeting, she followed up. And I say jokingly that she ended up toasting me. There's so many things. The kind of story behind my wife and I is the thing we will spend so much time talking about.
You've been married several decades.
44 years this year.
44 years this year.
And there's nothing she didn't do for my sake to hold on to me. Now, I mean, she's from a Muslim family. I'm a Christian, from a Christian family. But her sister that she considers her mother, may God bless her, because she lost her mother when she was 40 days old.
Oh,
my wife. So the sister that she considers like a mother spoiled the way for me, because she went and married a Christian too, and from a very, very core Muslim family. The Sidis, they're from, the father used to be an educationist, as rich as the likes of Dangote in those days. But she decided to say, Daddy, that's the man I want to go with.
Whether religion or no religion, it didn't matter.
That's the man I want to go with. In fact, he sponsored a trip abroad. As far back as 77 or 77 or something. And I mean, I should say this is an occasion where I shouldn't hide anything. I mean, I've written a book, I stated it there, these things don't hide. I was repatriated. All right? She was allowed entry. Just to show that this guy just loves me. She still came back. You can imagine that. Any other woman was like, I better leave this man. When I go to join us together. She came back for my sake. And lived in one room together and so on. And fantastic woman. Princess Folashade Olatilo. I praise her all the time. With God and her, I'm cool.
Thanks to God.
Yeah.
And it also taught you a lesson. What did you learn from it?
Quite a lot. The lesson that my wife has taught me is that I should continue to praise God. In so many circumstances, the Lord has shown His greatness. And that's why I say all the time that if I'm not kind to this woman, God will not forgive me. So it has taught me a lesson that is my woman that the Lord has chosen specially for me, divinely chosen for me. Should I also talk about the event, my close shave with COVID-19?
Oh, wow.
My wife
we will get there.
My wife was, my wife was, what do you call it? She was negative. I was positive for about a month. This woman held on to me. And, but for her and God, would have been a different story. So there's so much to talk about her in my life.
Your journey through broadcasting started in Oyo State. And then what I saw in you when we met in 79, by the way, was a man who, as I said, multilinguist, but you were also very hardworking. You were an adventurer of sorts. You took things with such determination that gave me, say, we are supposed to look at you and say, there's a lot to learn from you. You know, did you feel any sense of, you know, maybe one time you are not encouraged, you don't want to continue? What was it? What really spurred you on?
I think I should take you back to how I actually dreamt of broadcasting. That's a story you want to hear, and quite a lot of people have shared it. A lot of people will say, is that so? I say, yes. Started dreaming about being a broadcaster since when I was in secondary school at Kiriji Memorial College in Ibadan, between 67 and 71. The thing there was you must listen to Radio Vision. And the voices that come booming were the likes of Iken and Daguba on the news and what's it? Shola Folonsho on radio commentating.
Yeah.
So I began to say, why can't I do this? And I started mimicking them, practicing it, reading news for the assembly in school. And no match gets played if I've not been there to do commentaries on football. So that's how I started it. And I said, but when I got out of what they call secondary school, it was not easy for me to get employed, you know, with any radio or TV station. Tried as much as I did, it wasn't possible until 1975. The likes of Alex Condi of Blessed Memories and Daniel Joadebite were those that helped.
He heard Oyo.
If you heard the voice, definitely, if it is good enough, there's nothing you can. You don't have any other choice but listen in and do the right thing. And so that's how I came on board with what do you call that now? The Broadcasting Corporation.
That means you must have had a lot of influence of the likes of Alex Conde on you.
Yes, you know, Alex Conde and I were reading the news. You know, he was almost like a DJ. But the difference in his own DJing was that he brought a lot of professionalism into it. A lot of intellectualism.
It was very free-flowing as well.
There's a lot of stories. A lot of stories, very rich stories. Not just bang and throw away. No, not just bang for the sake of banging. Bang with a lot of information. And another person that took his, was Nojo Adebita. He also, that was a professor on the, what do you call it?
So why did they let you go from Oyo State?
No, I was going to go myself. I was going to go and get properly educated. That's why we're heading. That's why I headed abroad.
Okay.
But that was abroad. Yeah, I mean, you heard the story I told you about.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. But I never thought that Lagos FRCN is the place to really throw you up as a national star, which was what happened in '79.
And it threw you, launched you, plunged you into the federal might. You know, BBC became a symbol of communication, MC, and one who could just speak Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba effortlessly. How did that really? I'm a bit more curious. I know you personally, but how did you do all those things?
No, but the thing that should baffle everyone is that although I speak Igbo with a lot of fluency and north,
I
only got to the east for the first time at age 40. I'm going to be 72 by God's grace this year. So everything about my Igbo learning and the rest of it was amongst my friends in the north there. Of course, you know Hausa, that should come naturally with being raised there and all that. So I think it's a special gift that the Lord has endowed.
I'm a bit curious to see what would be your advice to Nigerians generally.
What I've been saying everywhere.
To unify the country, because...
What I've been saying everywhere is I don't know where we missed it. I mean, if I, a Yoruba man, can live in the north and understand and be able to speak Igbo in the north without going to the east for 13 of my growing up years, during my formative years, 13 whole years I was in Kano, I could not even speak a smattering of Yoruba. I couldn't speak a smattering of Yoruba.
which is your own original
language. What I'm trying to say is that if that can happen,
yes,
where did we lose it? And we were like one and the same. I mean, we're Christians. We live where the natives live. Sabungiri, kind of, for those who understand it, I mean, they were flowing with me. When we have, Christian events like during Easter, Christmas, and the rest of it, they came calling to celebrate with us. The same way when they had their own, we go with them. You didn't know the difference between amongst all of us. So I think it's the politicians that brought this about. It was the politicians that did this to us.
So what
for their own gain.
Politicians to now do? Because the National Assembly is supposed to help them, unify them in that concept that you just talked about. Your ability to speak, understand, and relate with other people.
I think it was, and even amongst our children. But let me say something. I've said it in many places. Where we're failing, our children are just going on and helping to build the way we started. They're going back to it, and even
adventurer of sort. So Biscon Communications started. What necessitated your determination, that's the word, to do that, Biscon Communication?
All right. You know that it's unfortunate that I've been telling this story. It's like those who are supposed to.
You can never stop telling it. We'll make
like those who are listening to me. It doesn't make any sense to them, or they've decided to just tune off from listening to it. How can I, celebrating 50 years in broadcasting, be going cap in hand and be begging for a TV license or a radio license?
It shouldn't happen.
I should be begged with it, because in fairness, even if I have to say that proudly, it's a different story entirely. BOS, as you know, without me saying it, we brought a totally different kind of thing into reporting mere parties. We brought professionalism into it. We made it a very special thing, apart from helping to tell the whole world about our stories, our ways of life and all that.
We gave it a flavor.
What we did was all the things we got in broadcasting, and I keep thanking Radio Nigeria for that. They make you an all-round broadcaster. So that's what we brought in. And for the discerning mind, when they see that this guy comes with the best in terms of you edit properly, your voice, about the best range of voices are those that you get to hear at the end of the day. Very well packaged. I'm trying to tell you what people say.
No, we are
I don't worry about that. And the BOS were packing so much into BOS. There was a station on DSTV. We said, let's just manage that, let's see how it goes. So that's just to be able to expand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, BOS, in just 1 hour, you pack all those in. But now that you have a 24-hour channel, you're able to spread out. So it's an extended version of BOS, actually.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll look at Biscon Tv, not just the linguist, the broadcaster, but he's also showbiz impresario. Biscon Tv, Prince Biscon Tv. My colleague, yes. My friend, yes. But he's a no-nonsense guy, I tell you. One day, there was an event, and the cameramen were everywhere. Biscon went to them and said, listen, you are the ones spoiling this show. Because it's simply arranged in such a way that anybody who is sitting there can see well, cameramen will go in front of everybody and block. How did you manage all of those processes, when you are emceeing an event, and then they want to carry your nose,
No, the thing there is that if you are a trained cameraman or a trained broadcaster, you're going past your limit and opening yourself for some insults, maybe tiny, and all that. But as I said earlier on, in broadcasting, the kind of training you and I had gotten, we've been trained in all aspects of it. whether you're a cameraman, whether you're a scriptwriter, whether you're a newscaster, newsreader, whatever it is. So you should know the areas you shouldn't pass. Let me just put it colloquially. And any cameraman who's overstepping his bounds, well, whatever comes to him in terms of he takes it. But he needs to learn a bit of...
but did you tell him thereafter?
I won't be there, because him and I talk almost every day. We send messages to one another, to each other rather. And he does most of our voices, as I told you. An event just about how many minutes ago, my guys went to cover an event in Ibadan. No, I'm sorry. Which we sent the report to him already. He's going to, maybe his voice, I don't even know. But we can do all of that. But you have to also know how to, don't talk down on him while telling him that.
So how do you see the youth on radio, youth on TV, and how we manage the situation as it were?
These are questions that I get asked every day.
Yes. Because things are changing.
I must say that no matter what you think about them, they have their own low moments. They have the low things you can mark them highly on. But you can't talk down on them entirely, because they have the good areas too. When you're talking about engage with the research,
very well.
Maybe now that we're talking about this technology thing that is coming in their favor, which we didn't quite have the opportunity of having.
Have the opportunity.
Maybe it's coming to their gain and all that, leveraging very well on it. But another thing I must say is that to do with trying to sound
American, English,
unnatural,
European, unnatural.
You know? And I said to them, when we ask them, they give us those that have inspired them.
Remember Professor Endin, who spoke 13 languages, and he became an authority.
Yes. So they're saying, they mention people's names, mention like Sonny, Rabo, Manion. I said, do they speak like Oibos? They said, no. Please try and mimic them. They will try and talk like them if you really want to be a good broadcaster. But anything outside it, you're not doing what you're told to do. Somebody say, no time don't pass now.
There's no such thing as time passing.
Oh.
There's no.
So
we came into a situation where the so-called time didn't pass, but we learned from it. They went their ways and we
continue down. Yes. You know what? But another thing we try to say when we have the opportunity to say that is, I'm sure you also didn't just start broadcasting like Sonny Rabo. You must have had some people, let's even put it let's break it down. You were trying to copy. In my own case, I was trying to sound like Martin Zoko, Mario Zugada.
Because he gave you a reason to believe that he could do it.
Mario Zugada and the rest of it. But when it got to, it just took some time off, and I had my own, what do you call it, that others are saying they want to read the news like the guy who first came to us, Lekon Ahmed, that's his name. I'm sure you should know him. He's still there, I should think. He came and said, without even paying me, he wants to be taking he wants to work with us, to be taking all the commentaries and the viewers and the rest. So I said, no, let's do it rightly. We will pay you. But he joined us.
Did anything, you see, you were in charge of what became Bond FM, Radio 3.
Yes.
Did anything rub off from you? Because you started, it was Zobian broadcast nature, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Pidgin.
Because that was a natural choice for it at the time.
Yes.
They were looking for somebody to head, Sonia Oyuso was the director, Lagos National Station at the time. And whatever fell on him to try.
He was my boss when he was director of training.
Look for somebody to man, and who else would have done it well? It
was a natural thing.
But the thing that I keep saying about that is I thank God for it, because it was
instructive for you, that made you learn a lesson of sort. Because you are in charge of Biscon TV. small, ordinary.
No, but the thing about it is that as you go back to the training we got in radio, radio gives you an all-encompassing training. You're not deficient in anything. That's it, if you're not a lazy person.
Yeah.
And I have the passion flowing in me, even as I'm speaking now. But for this interview, I was writing a story. Some stories I write myself. If I think they're big events, I do the writing myself. And it doesn't have to go out until I've seen and listened to it and all that.
Okay, before we go into your events, because very soon we'll be celebrating, what date is it?
It's Tuesday, the 13th of May.
13th of May.
Moson Center, which is not too far away.
Give or take roughly a month to go.
Around
a few days.
Okay. Yes.
Now, here you are, Biscon TV. Here you are, Biscon show. Here you are, MC, showbiz impresario. Here you are, multilinguist. One thing I want to add is you have a way of reaching out to every Tom, Dick, and Harriet, whether old, young, or in between. Who are you, BC?
I don't know what you mean by Tom, Dick, and Harry. You want to change it and say it properly?
No, it's how I look at it. Everybody that has been somebody has been, they know who BC Olatilo is.
Because I have been on my toes, not on my feet.
Yes. Even so your networking ability is...
Wow. I told you about my brand. We were almost living in Borno State at the time.
Okay.
Borno, Jigawa, during Sami Nituraki's time, Bauchi, Isayuguda, all of them. Then there's also Adamu Alero of Kebi, during the Ajurugungu Fishing Festival and all of that. Just name it. We're going back in time and saying, you mean we did all of this? And we're showing it.
And that is what Nigeria is missing today.
We're missing it. So that is where I draw my power from, of all this, knowing this and that and all that. I'm trying to in fact, when I left radio, that's what I started leveraging on. I mean, if you MCing everywhere, events everywhere, and so on and so forth. And
of the many things that will hold Nigeria together. So, having seen that, what do you advise Nigerians, especially politicians, should be doing now, especially that the security is a major issue?
Well, we can't say too much. We can't be tired of saying it. Let the politicians, or we Nigerians, let's love ourselves the way we love others. Let's not love ourselves more than we love others. That's what I've noticed. And this was not prevalent when we were growing up. Well, I mean, growing up meaning when the likes of me and people in my category, my contemporaries, those are the things we're asking you to allow us to show. All these things we're talking about, you would have seen the shots. We brought the visuals here to show. Then are you talking about Cross River State? Are you talking about Akwa Ibom? Are you talking about, Lagos? Just forget Lagos. Lagos is also there, and all parts of the country. Actually, what we're celebrating about BOS now is that BOS was mightier or stronger than some mainstream television stations. It was like if you don't have your events, broadcast
to Obudu Cattle Ranch.
We were the ones that first covered, did the packaging and that, and we threw it out to the world. And he will say to you that no, BC did quite a lot for him. And in fact, he handed us over. We got retainership, and retainership continued until Lieli Moke's time and Yadi.
Okay.
Definitely. They just didn't joke with us because they saw the difference in the way we were doing our packaging.
Donald Duke has also maintained a good repertoire of friendship.
Definitely.
He's a man who is loyal to his friends.
That's why we put him as one of the members of the committee helping to plan this.
Oh, wow, at that level?
Yeah.
Who's the chairman?
He himself and Chief Nick Akon, they are both sharing it.
Yeah.
They're both coordinating it. You're a member of it, but you are an absentee member.
Absentee member. I just got my letter from you.
Don't you read your mobile, what do you call your WhatsApp?
Okay.
Have I not been...
I hope NBC is listening.
I hope they're not deaf. We've said it over and over again. We're tired of saying it.
Well, maybe there's a reason behind whatever it is, but
the thing about it is that if you're talking about what we're doing is like BOS, we're doing something different. don't know how many people do what we're doing. Ours is events as they're happening.
Contents that you referred to earlier on that went through the 36 states. I mean, there are not many at all. And I would really love to see that all over again.
We've been doing that.
And on YouTube, that's brilliant.
Oh, yes, we've been doing that. As we speak now, if you go to YouTube and you just type Biscon TV.
Biscon TV, yes.
That's what you'll be watching there. Well, that's what we've been doing in the last 1 week, and we'll continue to do that. And in fact, okay, well, let me not be the interviewer now.
No. 50 years of broadcasting of BC Olatilo as a broadcaster, as a professional, and as one who is a showbiz person, as one who, how did you manage to be a CEO